Buddy, gonna do a quick teardown video on this Motor Model 80. This box here is meant to connect to the blinds, and it runs the little string that opens and closes the blinds. It's pretty neat. It's just for vertical blinds as far as I can tell. My dad actually sent it to me. He bought it. Turned out it didn't work how he needed it, so he thought I might have some fun with it. So here's a general diagram of how it comes apart. You can see the mounting plate on the back has a little catch on the top. Lets the mounting plate slide off, and then you can screw this into the wall, I guess, with those two holes, and then you can see it'll just slide on down, and then once you get it tensioned, you can lock it. So we'll take that, put that out of the way. Then we'll also take the cover, what do they call that? The safety guard comes off. It just pulls off and drops out. That little pin goes inside that hole. I'm not sure if that hits a switch or not. I don't see anything in there. But after we take the safety guard off, that exposes a rubber wheel. This wheel right here has some very grippy rubber. And the idea, which I will, a piece of wire. The idea is that you have the string that comes down from your blinds. You loop it underneath, and then the string sits inside that groove and catches that V groove on the wheel, and it's very grippy. So I could see this thing probably working. I'm not sure how he had it set up or whatnot, but his replacement option ended up being better anyway for his purposes. Then let's see, we'll go back to here. This thing is X10 compatible, timer compatible, light switch compatible. You can control it by flipping a switch on and off. It's kind of neat. At least the idea is neat. Has a standard 12-volt wall wart. You could probably run it off batteries. I think they may sell a battery pack for it, but I'm not really sure. So anyway, power goes in on the bottom. And the way it's designed, when the power goes off and then comes back on, it runs the motor in the direction that it could go next. So I'm going to turn off my power strip. I heard the relay click, so that probably put it in the other mode. And then when I turn it on, that foot is going to come around and hit this actuator up top. And you can change the distance. This is for setting your distance and how far the rope needs to move to open and close your blinds. So here I can make it really small. And that stops it there. So it's a pretty straightforward setup. Just by adjusting the position of the stop feet, you can set the size of how far it needs to spin. For instance, right here, motor stops when controlling actuator. So it's got some pretty decent instructions. I do like this though. Be prepared to be ready to unplug adapter. So, I don't know if you need the instructions for these. I'll move them really slow. Here, we'll start here. I guess I could be considered the world's worst scanner. a really cruddy version of a PDF. Of course, you could probably just go to their website. Yeah. Or if you have a problem, go to repairmymotor.net. Anyway, I get this part filmed, videoed, whatever the heck the proper nomenclature is. It's funny, they say it's Z-Wave and X10 compatible. That just means it goes into an outlet that can be controlled by Z-Wave or X10. This thing is not set up to work with Z-Wave or X10 just like that. You need the outlet module that goes with it. So, let's get to the fun part. Let's open it up. Some beefy plastic screws. Oh, these bottom ones are shorter than the top ones. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. Okay, so these go all the way through. I guess that makes sense. Alright, we'll take the back off. Zoom you in. There we go, and it's using just a tiny little... It's a tiny motor. Unless that motor goes all the way through, which it might. Hey, we'll find that out in a moment. And here's the super crazy high-tech control board. You can look at the back. We have, see, power comes in here, some type of jumper. They probably, oh, I know what they had. They had a switch in here at one point. Kind of like this one, but much shorter. So that when the safety pin would go inside, you can even see it's curved. It would, let's see, I'll try holding it this way. It would slide in and hit the switch. This is just a scrap one I had out of something else. But you can even see they have 3 pins here. You have your common, and then normally open probably, or maybe that's common and normally open, and that would have been normally closed. So this is not screwed in, it's just pushed onto those pins. So let's flip it over and see. Wow, it's literally just 2 relays. And they have them wired in a way with the switch so that when the power is cut, the relay flips position so that it can feed power the other way. You can kind of see how they have it split out here. So power's coming in, it goes through the jumper, which, yeah, they even have it marked switch 2. Then after it goes through the jumper, it goes to that relay, that pin, that pin, that pin, that pin. So these are basically mirrors of each other. Let's see, and the relays are, there you are, you know, they're 12 volt coils, 2 amp 30 volt, 1 amp 125 volt. And then we have the outputs to the motor. Let's disconnect those so that we can continue disassembly. Just gonna flip that over here out of the way. After I take these 2 screws out, this should come apart. Yep. That board just kind of fits through the hole. Here's the rubber pulley. It is really sticky. It feels like real rubber. I wonder if it pulls off that cog. Looks like it's just, yeah, oh, that's kind of cool. So there you go. So they must have different, maybe they have different models, or maybe you can get replacement versions of these if they wear out. But you can see that's just flexible, squishy rubber. No marks on it. Trying to see what kind of plastic they were using. I think it's ABS. Feels like it. Kind of looks like it. Just a mold mark number 2. Anything on this one? 1. That must be the position or mold number. Let's take these screws out. Yep. I see. So they're really just using a switch, normal switch, which pushes out. Let's get that gear out of the way. How's that? Oh, that's riveted in. I can't pop that out. No. Alright, so that's permanent, but the switch is not. Switch, is that 2 pieces? No, that looks like it's affixed to the top. I was hoping to push it back through. Might be able to. Let's see, does this... Maybe I can pop the top off long enough to slide it through. Oops, that's why. Or not. Why is that not coming off? Well, we're going to leave it together. Let's pull the wires off. Alright, so it's yellow, white, green. Take the cover off, because we will look at the gearbox. Plug these back in, yellow, white, green. Because the gearbox is pretty interesting. I expected just 2, little gears, but that's surprisingly beefy. Now, does this pull off? Let's see. Feels like it might. Kind of felt it budge when I did that. Yep. There we go. It just pulls right out. So that means it is going through a sleeved connection right there. That piece. And this is kind of cool, actually. Square opening looks like it might be a, let's see, so 6.2. Oh yeah, it's about a 1/4 inch hole. Yeah, that's a 1/4 inch. So this gearbox is pretty handy. I am definitely keeping this. Oh, let's see, let's hook this back up. Let's watch it run with it apart. Some power to it. Alright, so what did I forget? Oh, gotta turn the power on. There we go, now you can see that thing spin. And now it goes the other way. So it has to lose power so that the unpowered relay can move and release or hand over power to the relay to drive it the other direction. So now the little finger's coming around and click. And then we turn our X10 or Z-Wave thing off and back on again. And it spins that way. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's look inside this gearbox. That's kind of neat. It was fast. going to keep this gearbox, so I'm going to be careful. At least I'm keeping it so far. There we go. So we had a small one there, and then the rest are big. Just so I don't get them confused. Alright, so let's pop the gearbox open. There you go. A lot of grease. And a lot of nylon gears. Put some of that grease back down in there. So you can see the motor gears on the little. That little, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like 10 tooth, I guess. Count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, 10. And then we go to that gear, and then this gear, and then this gear, and then the big gear. And those all have more teeth. I'm not counting them. If you want to, you can pause them and count it. Alright, so I'm going to put that back on. And I'll put these screws back in so that I don't get any crud in here. A couple ideas for this gearbox. We'll see. I don't have a way to test the torque on it. I imagine it's not super high, but I imagine it's decent. But we'll see when I, if and or when I do the project using this gearbox, I'll be sure to share it with y'all. So I'm going to put this back in because this might be useful. I'm also going to put the rubber part back on just to keep it all together. And there you go. That's all there is to it. There's the front and the part that holds the motor. Or there's the front, rather. There's the safety thing. There's all the fasteners. There's a gear. There's a controller. And, of course, the power adapter. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you didn't enjoy the video, you can also hit the dislike button. Either way. Thank you for watching.